YouTube, welcome into the Esports Center for the 31st of August. What a great Friday it is. We have got a massive 30-hour massive series to talk about in Valorant. And that's going to be the series between Shopify and 2G for last chance qualifiers there in tier 2, and lots of technical pauses. Let's get into it. So, for anybody that doesn't watch Valorant, there's most of what you see is tier 1. So that's like the best teams, the pro teams, and all that, right? But a little bit less known, there is a tier 2, and a few days ago there was the qualifiers for, let's call it the qualifiers essentially. The breakdown of it, if you look at Valorant tier 2, is there's the last chance qualifier, which is tier 2. Then they get to qualify for the kind of the playoffs for tier 1 that goes into champs, right? So this qualifier to champs is what we're talking about. The winner gets into that, okay? That's the simple version. But none of that matters. But basically, it's a pretty big prize for a tier 2 team. Well, unfortunately, the gravitas of the tournament did not match the production value. So we had a best of 5 grand finals that went 30 hours. I believe exactly it ended after 30 hours, but that's right. It's not a typo. It took so long that there was multiple breaks. So the technical difficulties caused multiple breaks, multiple postponages, that they had to come back after sleeping, and it took 30 hours after all of that. I am shocked. Like that's one of those things. The fact that this happened is just basically a slap in the face to everybody. I don't even know really what the reasoning was to continue. I mean, I guess somebody has to, and not to be a bad sport about it. I mean, I don't think that both teams played under the same conditions, but it's basically a farce at that point. The event is a farce, and it's just such a crazy story because we have the timeline here, and I'll try to like paint a picture in terms of time frame because it's nuts. But let's start. Okay, so July 29th. So this is Wednesday, and we're gonna talk in Eastern time because that's where I'm at. But yeah, so the broadcast started at 2:33. The map 1 started at 3:08. Okay, so I believe map 1 went through without any issues. Then there was a technical pause for an hour and a half before map 2. Okay, so they're about to start map 2. There's a technical pause, an hour and a half. Then they play one half, and then there's another technical pause, and it looks like that's for about an hour. Okay, so we're at an hour extra. So an hour and a half pause, then another hour pause. So 2.5 extra hours. Then they played the second half, and then going into overtime, there was another pause. And that was this third pause started at 7:06. Then basically an hour into that, the broadcast go offline. Okay? So I guess they issued a statement. Yeah, they issued a statement an hour after that though. Okay, right? So we're already like 3 hours over. We're in an hour into the third technical pause. They're in overtime, like paused in overtime. Broadcast goes down. Another hour, then they put out a statement on Twitter. Okay. Then they come back at 10. So that's another extra hour and a half. Yeah, it looks like an hour and a half. The broadcast come up, but then the map doesn't resume until 10:30. So that's 2 hours. So I think that's, what are we at now? 5 hours of pauses there. Then okay, so we finally get through that. So now we're in map 3. Another fourth technical pause for 10 minutes. Another pause. So they play in one more round of the third map. So in round 2 of the third map, they then have a pause at 11:30. We'll just call it 11:30 Eastern. Then we resume at 12. We'll just call it 12. We'll kind of round all these just to, because again, it's so absurd that who cares, right? Um, then we restart at 12. At 12:30 in overtime again, there's a sixth technical pause, and then looks like the map finishes at another like pretty quickly after that. Okay, so six technical pauses, like 5 extra hours. All right, so at 1 a.m. we just stop. All right, it looks like we stop. Um, yeah, so 1 a.m. they were like enough. That's it. We come back. The broadcast start 5 p.m. the next day. 6 or 5:30 the broadcast starts. 6 o'clock is when the game starts. So map 4 goes off, no problems. Map 5 then starts, and then in like triple overtime, we get another technical pause, and that lasts. So that's 7 technical pauses if you weren't counting, and that lasts for another 40 minutes. And then it looks like they re-roll around and then replay the overtime of map 5. That's insane. I don't even understand how. I don't even know. I don't know if Riot has said something about this. We'll have to look. If there's an update, I'll put it in the video. But yeah, guys, 30 hours for a best of 5 series is nuts. And there's a couple interesting stories. So Xander was on the losing team. He's on Shopify. And I wanted to point out Xander because I feel like Xander has maybe the saddest career so far. He's always been talented and on good teams, but like the second best team, right? Like he was on. So I think when M80 were going really good, or I guess to be specific, he was like the odd man out, right? So he was good on M80 and then they all got picked apart. I think they went again and then finished second. I think something like that. Then he finally got a chance in tier 1, but then the team, just kind of blew up. And then just never really got another chance. He's like, to me, he's kind of the poster boy for like what I really don't like in Valorant with the tier 1 to tier 2, right? Like I just think that in any other scene where it was a little bit more open and you had tier 1.5, he'd definitely be good enough for a team. Um but yeah, guys, I mean, so Xander is a part of it, which is crazy. Um, Sounds like there was some trash talk, which was funny, but then one of the players came out and was like trash talking about like winning that one. And it's like it kind of sucks because it's one of those where like I don't know, it's like in regular sports when a referee makes a bad call. It's like, look, it's not anything against the other team, right? Like they didn't do anything wrong, but it's always like, ooh, it's a little bit of a stain. Like, um, it's just like it kind of ruins it for everybody a little bit like that, where it just like, man, I really wish they could have just won normal. We didn't have to have any of the circus. It could have just been a win, right? Um, but yeah, that's the esports center for today, guys. I mean, it's just kind of nuts. Um, what do you guys think? Should there be a 30-hour best of 5? Should they have called it off? Should they have replayed the whole thing at another time? Like, what do you even do?